Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me for another Nimble training webinar. Today we will go through the entire Nimble platform. And what is Nimble? I know that a lot of you here are new. So Nimble is an easy to use CRM that works for you in Office 365. It works in G Suite and everywhere else you work. And what we mean by that is that we have a browser extension you can download on your Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, and we're fixing it for Safari right now. So soon it will be available again. And this extension will allow you to use Nimble outside of Nimble. So you will be able to continue to prospect where you prospect on social media or any website or even inside of any third-party application, it will work too. And you can just hover over any name if it's hyperlinked. If not, you can highlight it, and then Nimble will help you to create a new contact record or access an existing one, which you can then update and put any notes on it, create sales opportunity or anything like that. Nimble also integrates with social media and with almost 200 different software as a service applications. So if you're using something like MailChimp, QuickBooks, Xero, or really, it's a long list of applications that we integrate with, you can use our partner Pysync. You can set up the integration inside of Nimble. Pysync will give you 14 days for free to test it out and set up all the rules, connect all the applications you might want to integrate Nimble with. And then during the 14 days, you will be able to bring in all the contacts from all these different applications. There's no limit. So this can actually be used when you're setting up Nimble and if you want to just migrate contacts from various different places. And then if you just don't want, if you're not interested in keeping those platforms in sync, you can basically let the trial expire. Or also if you're transitioning to Nimble from a different CRM. So that can also really help you to bring the data in easily because Pysync works on rules. If this, then that, it will also help you to do it faster and with more accuracy, meaning you can usually select which tags you want to bring in or which groups of contacts. So it really can save you time. After the 14 days, if you do want to keep your information in sync, Python gives you the limit of syncing 2,000 contacts per month per user. If you go over that, there would be a charge associated with the integration, and you would be able to go on Pysync's website. I believe it's just python.com. Megan, if you don't mind, please share link to their pricing in the comments. And then you would be able to tell the website how many contacts you would be syncing, and they would give you like a price estimate. Our next training webinars, next week we will be focusing on contact management strategies. So if you have any questions about how to organize contacts in Nimble, how to use tags, how to use custom fields, how to use safe segment and what the differences are and what the pros and cons are, this would be a good webinar for you. And then I will also continue to do the general overviews. And let me go into Nimble. So here we are. When you first log into Nimble, you will land on our Today page. But if you're just getting started, and I know based on the poll results, most of you are new to Nimble. Maybe you haven't even seen the platform. So I want to make sure that when you do sign up for our free 14-day trial, that you have enough information to really see if Nimble would be a good choice for you. So I would recommend not really starting on the Today page, but making sure that you connect everything you might want to be connecting to Nimble. So we will have onboarding process that will guide you through it. But if you just leave it at any point, you can always click on the circle in the top right corner, go to Networks and Imports, and then you would be able to connect everything to Nimble. So Nimble unifies your contacts, calendars, and communications into one place. So depending on the email provider you use, you would connect it here. So most of you said that you were on Office 365. That's a really good really good news because we just recently introduced this one button connector. So when you connect your Office 365 account, you will be able to easily log in using your Office 365 login, and then you can tell Nimble if you want to connect your email, meaning all your emails will be then in sync with your Nimble contact. So then you would be able to locate a specific contact record inside of Nimble and see the history of communication. So you wouldn't have to search for them individually in your inbox. And on top of that, you will also see all the tasks that were completed in the past about the person, and also possibly anything that was scheduled to happen in the future. And if you are using Nimble as a team, you will also be able to see who is responsible for that or who completed in the past. You can also use it to import your Outlook contacts to Nimble and to connect your Outlook calendar. For our Gmail G Suite users, connecting your email is also very easy. You'll click here, you'll log in with your Google credentials. The only exception is that you will have to do 2 clicks instead of our Microsoft users that only have to do 1. So in order to connect your Google Calendar, you'll have to click here, select it from the option here. It wasn't already an option there because I wasn't an option anymore because I already have it connected. So you would be able to do the same thing, log in with your Google credentials, and then pick the calendars that you want to connect to Nimble, and then it would be added. So that's emails, calendars, and now let's talk about how to bring all the contacts into Nimble. But before we do that, I would like to talk about some of like the best practices that you should consider before even inviting people to Nimble, inviting your coworkers, and also importing contacts. We have made it very simple to import contacts to Nimble, but sometimes it's not the best thing because we definitely recommend maybe taking a little bit of time, having a meeting, or just sitting down and writing down all the places from which you would like to import your contacts. So then after you have the list, possibly even thinking about the quality of the contacts on those lists. Do I really want to import everybody to Nimble? Um, in case you want to import the Outlook contacts, can you maybe export it, do a little cleanup? Because if you import hundreds or thousands of contacts to Nimble, we have a lot of customers going back to us asking how they could kind of clean it up. So we recommend doing the work prior to that, and it really pays off in the long run. Another thing to consider when you do invite your coworkers, to talk to them about where they are allowed to import contacts from. So maybe you could designate one person who would be kind of the data keeper, the person responsible for knowing what are the rules, because again, you really want to make sure that the database is as clean as possible, because if it is, everybody will be more likely to use it and see some results. So when you decide from where you're going to be importing the contacts, so if you agree that you want all your team members to import their Google contacts, their Outlook contacts, also make sure that they apply tags. So when you're doing any import in Nimble, Nimble will give you the option to apply a tag. So if you do use Nimble as a team, I would suggest also add in the names of the people that are adding it, because if you have 5 users import their Outlook contacts and only create a tag that says Outlook contacts, you will have maybe 5 different tags that are called a different variation of the 2 words. So if you have Outlook contacts and then the initials of the person that imported it, everybody on the team will know who imported it, who to talk to if they have any questions about the contacts imported, and so on. Or that you could just put the first name of the person that is importing it. So we covered the Google contact import and the Outlook contact import, and here I am on Twitter. So Nimble currently only directly integrates with Twitter. So if you're using Twitter for business, this could be an amazing opportunity to utilize it inside of Nimble, because all the interactions you have had and you will have with your prospects and customers on Twitter will be automatically put under the interactions tab on individual contact records. So you'll always know who talked to them, about what the next steps are, and so on. In regards to importing contacts from Twitter, we give you several options. I do not recommend importing everybody. So again, for obvious reasons, you do not want to just clutter your database with unnecessary contacts. And especially with Twitter, when some Twitter users don't even use their real name. So then Nimble could potentially import their Twitter handles and you wouldn't even know who these people are. So you have several options. You could import your friends, meaning you follow each other with, or just the people that you follow. Or if you are using Twitter lists on Twitter, you could import specific Twitter lists. So they would definitely ensure that you are only focusing on the people that you want in Nimble. So in regards to other social networks, currently, as I mentioned, we only have a direct integration with Twitter. The reason is that both LinkedIn and Facebook closed their APIs, so they no longer allow us to directly integrate with them. We still have the browser plugin called Nimble Prospector that will still allow you to use it on these platforms. We will just not sync the history of interaction. So a lot of the things will have to be done manually, but we still give you the option to easily access and create new contact records in Nimble when you are using these platforms. And I will show you a little later in the presentation. So with LinkedIn, you'll have the option to go to your LinkedIn profile, download a list of your CSV file with your LinkedIn connections, and then import it to Nimble. Again, it might be worth it to first do a little bit of cleanup, or just quickly taking a look at the CSV file and making sure that you maybe delete your um, college classmates or people that you don't really do business with, to make sure that you keep your database as clean as possible. And you have few ways of how to keep it, few options how to keep the list updated. You could do this import periodically. So you could just go to LinkedIn once in a while, download it again, and re-import it into Nimble. Nimble will automatically match the duplicates, so you don't have to worry about duplicates. Or you could also use our browser extension to add people as you're adding them on LinkedIn. So if you are not a master connector adding hundreds of people every month, this might be a good way for you to make sure that all the important LinkedIn connections that you are connecting with on LinkedIn are also in your CRM database. So I'll again show you in a little bit how you can do that. So that's LinkedIn. And it's very possible that you have contacts in various other places. You might have some spreadsheets in which you have a list of your prospects, customers. So you can utilize our CSV import. We have what we call an import wizard that will guide you through the import. So you can either look at what the fields are called in Nimble and then make sure that each tab is called exactly the same way as the column in your spreadsheet. So first name would be first name, last name would be last name. And you can also, if you want to import any tags to the list of the people in the spreadsheet, you could also create a new tab, call it tag one, and then put the specific tag you want to get imported into Nimble to the specific context on the specific line. And then this will kind of help you to take care of the tagging in bulk. If you don't do the cleanup prior, Nimble will also give you the option to do it as you're doing the import. So if there are any fields we don't recognize, we'll give you the option to either select from a list of existing fields in Nimble. So if it's just a different variation of how you store the first name and last name, maybe they're in one column, Nimble will still give you the option to easily import it and select how you want to import it. Or you can also create any custom fields up in the import as well. So if you have any information in a spreadsheet that we don't have fields in Nimble yet, you can also create them as you're importing the file. So that's the CSV import. We also integrate with the almost 200 different SaaS applications, as I mentioned, via our partner PySync. So this is the list that you can actually go through to see if you use any of these apps and if you would want to integrate with them. So you can either scroll down or you can also just search for it. Like if I search for MailChimp, it will pop up here. If you are thinking about using Nimble as a team, you can go to users here on the left side, then select the number of licenses, and then you click invite users, and you can separate the emails by commas and people received email invites. If you have any questions about the settings, please let us know and I'll make sure that I'll go over it at the end of the session. So let's go on the today page. So today page is completely customizable. So you will be able to customize it to your needs. You can simply click on manage widgets on the right side and then tell Nimble what widgets you want to focus on. You can also see the entire list when you click on add or remove widgets. So we have some sales related ones. So you'll be able to see your deals, calendar events, tasks, highlighted contacts, signals, or the pipeline chart. So let me just enable all of them so we can go through them and talk about what they are exactly in detail. You can also upload your logo or change the cover. Once you're done, you can close the settings. So here we are, events. So once you've connected calendars to Nimble, you'll be able to select which calendars you want to see, or you can also do all calendars. So then you'll see a combination of the calendars here, and you'll be able to see what exactly is on your agenda for the day. In tasks, and these are specific to Nimble, so you'll be able to create tasks specific to your contact records. So then you'll be able to see everything that's on your to-do list for the day. You can also see the tasks that you delegated or somebody delegated to you. So this can be used as a little reminder of what the most important things are on your plate every single day. Nimble also has email tracking, so you are able to track individual and also group messages in Nimble, and then you'll be able to see how people are interacting with your messages here. In the Stay in Touch box, you will notice that in Nimble, next to everybody's picture, there's this little clock sign. So you'll be able to set up stay in touch reminders. So if you know that you want to stay in touch with certain individuals, let's say every month, you can have Nimble to remind you to do so. So if you'll be using Nimble's pipeline, you'll be able to also see the chart here and kind of see how much money is in each stage and on which pipeline. So you can easily view all your team deals, or you can focus on the specific pipeline. In deals, you'll see a list of all the deals. You can do the active ones, those that have been won, lost, or those that are owned by your other of your team members, those that are active, won, or lost. In stage funnel, you'll be able to visualize how much money is in each stage of your funnel. And if you are utilizing Twitter, you can also see the interactions from Twitter and respond to people from here. Moving and closing the widgets is very easy. One way is to click on the three dots here. If you are not using Twitter, you can just hide it, get rid of it, If you'd like to move certain widgets around, you can click on Move Widget here and then simply drag and drop. So if you want task on the first spot, you can just do that. Once you're done, you can click Close Settings. And let's go to Contacts. So on the main contacts view, you'll be able to see all your contacts, or if you want to just focus on people, you can see just people, just companies, those that you have marked as important. So Nimble gives you this little star that you can use to mark some people as VIPs, and it will also create this little folder that you can easily access to make sure that you are staying in touch with these people on a regular basis. You can also see recently viewed people, those that have been recently added, recently contacted, those that you set up the stay in touch reminder with. As you can see, I'm past due with some people. And we also have this folder for removed contacts. So the account admin can determine how long they allow for the deleted contacts to stay in this folder. And it's just a way to be able to recover contacts that you or somebody on your team may have deleted, and it still gives you time to make sure that you can recover them. Let me just pick a contact record so we can go through it. So here we are on a contact record in Nimble. You can see the basic information about the person, like their name. You can see their pictures, their title, the company they work for. This is where you can also set up the stay in touch reminder. So you can do weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, or you can also do a custom reminder. Nimble makes it easy to create notes. So you can just click here on Add Note. Notes will be shareable across the entire team. So anybody that locates contact records in Nimble will be able to see what has been done with them under the Interactions tab. Same for activities. Login activities, that's for anything that already happened in the past. So if you had a calendar appointment with somebody and it wasn't on your, if you had a call, or if you had any type of meeting with anybody that wasn't on your calendar for any reason, you can always edit there just to make sure that you will have the history of the interactions with the people in Nimble. You can also log it as a call, or the account admin will be able to create custom activities. You can schedule future activities. They look the same. Tasks can be also delegated. So you can pick the team member you want to assign it to, and you can set up the due date. It's also very easy to send a message straight from here. So once you connect your email account, and you can also connect multiple, you can connect as many email accounts as you want. So Nimble will give you the option to select from which one you want to email to people. In settings, you'll be able to copy and paste your signature, and then it will be automatically added to any of the messages you'll be sending from Nimble. You can also, once you create a message, you can save it as a template and be able to use it in the future. So if you find yourself retyping the same sentences over and over again, you could use templates for this and then just select from existing templates to make it easier and just save time on retyping the same stuff over and over again. You can also decide if you want Nimble to track it. So if you include any links, Nimble will track the opens and also the clicks on the links. And on the Today page, you'll be able to see how people are interacting with the messages. So it'll give you the opportunity to maybe follow up with your prospects and customers at the time when they're actually thinking about you and reviewing whatever you send them. You can also create a deal straight from here. You can name the deal, set up the probability, the expected close date, the amount, the primary contact. So that will be the primary contact and the contact record that the deal will be associated with. It will also show up on the company record if the person has a company associated with them. And you can also add participants. You can separate them by commas. They have to be, the contacts have to be in a Nimble. So first you will have to create the contact records inside of Nimble, but the participants don't have to be individual users. They can be, but they can just be contacts in your database. So you can add as many as you want here as well, just separate them by commas. Then you can tell Nimble on which pipeline you want to put the deal on, which stage, who you want to assign it to, and also the administrator of your account, every time they invite a new team member, they will be able to give them different permissions. So deals can be private. So if you are creating deals and set them as private, nobody on your team will be able to see them. You can also give this permission to other users, so then they will be able to create private deals as well. If you don't want them to be able to create private ones, you can give them different permission. So you can give them the option to create public deals that are viewable and editable by everybody, or they are just view only. So then you could just ask them if you wanted them to make any edits to them, but you would still be able to see all of them on the pipeline. So that's definitely something to consider for the account admin as well. Under contact info, you'll see the contact information about the person. Tags are a great and easy way, probably the easiest way to organize your contacts. So you'll see them here and you'll be able to edit them and also create new ones. Under lead fields, you'll be able to qualify the leads, and these individual drop downs can actually be modified. So depending on your use case, you'll be able to set it up in settings what the different lead sources are. So it depends on each person's individual business case, so you can set that up in settings. On the right side, under interactions, we already said that you can see, basically it gives you the entire view into the relationship that you have with the person, everything that has been done in the past and everything that is scheduled to happen in the future, who created it and who's responsible for it. If, as you can see, there's a lot of things going on in this tab, but we also give you the option to focus on specific activities. So you can also select just calls, for instance, and see all the calls that relate to this person, or any deals, events, or any tasks, or any custom activities. Same for notes. Notes are also searchable, so you can search for keywords. And then Nimble will only show you those notes that contain the keyword, of course. If you want to just see the messages you have exchanged with the person, you can do so under the Messages tab. And under Deals, you'll be able to see all the active and also already closed deals. Under Data Fields, Nimble gives you the option to create up to 5 custom tabs. So one of them I created is called Programs. It wasn't there by default, so I named it Programs, and I created all these custom fields. So custom fields, again, depend on your individual business case, and you can create them in Settings under Data Fields. So this is where you can create these individual tabs, and under each individual tab, you can create as many custom fields as you want. So when we go back to the contact record, and if you're interested in learning more about creating custom fields and organizing your contacts, you can sign up for the webinar I'll be doing next week, and I'll go through that in more detail. So the individual data fields will be here. They can be text fields. They can also, if you add a link there, it will be hyperlinked, so it will make it easy for you to just go to the link you want to. And you can also set up a drop-down menus. It's also very easy to attach files to your contact records. You can do so from Microsoft OneDrive, from Google Drive and Dropbox, and soon we'll give you the option to also upload from your computer. And another great feature I want to cover today is Nimble segmentation. So you have basic filters here, the most used filters on top, but these are just some of the filters you can use to create groups of people. You can tell Nimble if you want to focus on just people, just companies, or both. So let's see what I can do with people. When you click here on Add Filter, you'll be able to select from all the existing fields in Nimble, including any custom fields. So let's just use some of my custom fields. So I want to see how many people I am responsible for. That's a custom field I created. You can further segment the database by applying any other fields. If I wanted to see all the people that have birthdays in certain month, I could apply that filter as well. If I wanted to see those that I those that I marked as important, I could do that as well. Once I created these filters, I have several options of what to do with this segment. I could save the segment. So I could do VIPs and save it. Once that happens, it will show up on my main contacts page and it will be easily accessible. Soon we will also make it shareable. So right now it will only show up on your contact screen, but soon you'll also be able to share it with any of your team members. And the difference between having safe segments and tags is that the safe segments will be dynamic. So once you create it, every time a new contact record is added to Nimble, and if they match the criteria, you will be they will be automatically added to the safe segment. So you don't have to worry about updating these manually. They will always be up to date because people, once they match the criteria, they will be automatically added. To tagged groups of people, you will have to be tagging each individual contact manually. If you don't do that, they will not be added to that list. So that is like one of the main differences between these two different ways of contact organization in Nimble. You can also easily always edit the segment. So if the criteria changes, you can delete some of it, you can edit it, and so on. You can also make a copy. So if you're creating a safe segment for VIP customers in California, and then you don't want to recreate all the fields, you would just want to change the location, then you could create one for people in Washington, for instance. So that's like a nice feature to be able to make the segment. Once you don't use it, you can also delete it. So that's another thing you can do with the segmented group of people. You can also export it, and this is again something for all administrators to consider. You can only select certain people on your account that will be able to bulk export and bulk delete. So this could be a security precaution. You can be the only person that is able to do so, or you can just give it to certain partners, certain people in the company, but definitely something to consider. And you can also send them a group message. Our group message was created to work with the segmentation. It was not created to replace marketing automation system. We do not have beautiful templated messages for blasting your database with newsletters. It was more created to help you touch more people at once because the emails are actually coming from the emails you connect to Nimble. So if you have Office 365, it will come from Outlook. So to the people on the list, it will look like you just sent the message to them. They will not know they were part of a group outreach. So that's the main benefit of it. We wanted to give you the option to segment your database to small enough groups that you can really tailor the message to them. So it really looks very personalized to them. And you can use save templates, or you can also save the templates from here. You can add merge tags, so we would automatically grab the first name of the person. Then you can send yourself a test message. Once you do that, make sure there are no typos. If you include any links, make sure that you click on them and they work. Once you're happy with it, you can hit send, and then you'll be able to see the entire list of all the messages you have sent, and also see how people are interacting with it. how many messages were sent, how many people opened, how many people clicked, how many people read your email, how many people unsubscribed, and so on. So that's the group messaging. Also want to cover activities. And under activities listing, this is a great place where you can create to-do list and also for the managers to be able to create reports. So you can select the entire team or focus on individual salespeople, individual team members, and then see how many tasks they performed during a specific time frame or how many calls they had, let's say, since January 1st. You can save these filters so you don't have to recreate it. And then every time you go under activities and listing, you'll be able to select from a filter of previously saved fields. You can also configure the table to make sure there you are only focusing on the columns that are of interest and you're not losing time. You can quickly select those that are important. You can drag and drop them. And you can also pin those that you always want to see in the front. So they'll be kind of separated here. It can also be exported. So once you create the report, you can export it and send it to somebody or print it out for a meeting. And here we are in deals. I mentioned that Nimble has multiple deals pipelines. So again, the account admin will be able to give permission to only themselves or individual team members to be able to make changes to their pipeline. So if you're in your Nimble account and this is gray, it's very likely that the account admin hasn't given you the permission to make changes. So you would have to contact them and see if they would give it to you so you could make the changes. So when we click on customize pipelines, as you can see, I created a lot of them here. If you want to customize an existing pipeline, you just click here. Here you are able to change the name of it. You can also change the name of individual stages. Again, you can drag and drop. You can set up the number of days you allow each deal to stay in each stage. So once the deal goes past that number, the deals will turn red on the pipeline. You can also add more stages here. When we go back, I'll also show you how you can create completely new pipeline. So you'll just click here, add pipeline. Name it. And then define the individual stages. So this will, again, depend on everybody's business model and process. Some people enjoy a lot of columns. Some people enjoy having their pipeline short and then using activities for the individual things that need to get done in between in order to move the deal to the next stage. Some people like to have everything as different stages and then kind of visualize how many deals they have in each stage. So this is completely up to you. You can create as many of the columns as you want. When you're on the pipeline, you can also select if you want to see the deals owned by you, the entire team, or individual salespeople. You can also see the pipeline in the list or as a pipeline. You can also export it and create a new deal. You can name it, set the probability, primary contact, all the participants, and so on. We also have reports in Nimble. So you'll be able to report on all your pipelines, all the individual ones, create a report for the entire team or individual salespeople, set up the time or select from some of our existing ones. You can also use it to forecast your deals and review your deals history. It can also be exported, so you can save it as a PDF and then save it. Now, let me actually make sure that I am connected here because I want to show you the mobile application as well. So here we are in the mobile app. We have mobile apps for both iOS, and Android. When you open it up, you will be able to see your agenda. So when you click on a specific contact record, you'll be able to, and especially if you're on the go somewhere, you'll be able to quickly review the individual contact record, see all the tags. You'll be able to see the history of interactions. If you're running late, you'll be given the option to send people a message. You can also select from existing templates to make it even faster. As you can see, your signature will be automatically added. You can also select if you want Nimble to track the message or send as a regular message. So that's the agenda. You'll be able to easily access all your tasks, the upcoming ones, completed ones, those that have been marked as important, or those that have been delegated. You can also create a new one, set up the due date. You can also select the person you want to assign it to, and so on. Under contacts, you can search for people by typing their name in the box. You can also go through the list of last contacted here. In the top left corner, you can select different categories as well. If you want to browse through all the people, you can do so. You can access all your saved searches and all your tags. You can also create a new contact record, and we also give you the option to scan a business card. So you'll be able to just take a picture of a business card and Nimble will help you create a new contact record. Or you can add everything manually. You can also review your pipeline while on the go. You'll be able to select which one, check all the different stages, and also create a new sales opportunity from here as well. So this is the the iPhone app. It should look pretty similar on Android. If you have any questions about anything, please let us know at care@nimble.com, and we will make sure that we help you out. I also promise that I'll show you how the Nimble Prospector browser extension works. If you don't have it yet, you can either go to Chrome Store, or if you're using Firefox, you can go there directly and type in Nimble, or you can go to nimble.com/widget and then click on you can click on the icon there, and Nimble will help you install the browser extension. Once it's installed, you'll be able to click on it and either search for somebody manually, or, which is even easier, just hover over any name anywhere, and Nimble will either surface an existing record or it will help you create a new one. So I could do add contact, and this is how fast I was able to create a contact record. And then I'll be able to add any notes, log any past activities, schedule new ones, send a message straight from here. It could be tracked. I could use templates and so on. And under here, you'll be able to see the history of interactions, access any data fields, any custom data fields. You can access the company information, their social profiles, social signals, see their bio, and also attach files from OneDrive, Google Drive, and Dropbox. Nimble also helps you to create lists here. So as you can see, it's very easy to create contact records. If you use the Nimble Prospector for prospecting, you'll also be able to select multiple contacts at once and apply a tag to them. Or if you're prospecting and the extension is blocking something on the right side, you can always use this button and move it to the left. And once you want it back, you can just move it back there. And you can really use it anywhere. So if you're using it for prospecting and you want to see a list of people that are engaging with somebody's LinkedIn status or anything they wrote on LinkedIn, you can quickly go through them. And if you can use Nimble to first help you to build the record for them. Depending on how active these people are on social media, that that will affect the amount of information we'll be able to surface, but you can kind of use it to determine if you want to add them to Nimble. If not, you just do clear and wait for until you identify somebody that you actually want to add. So you can do it in views, in likes. You can see all the people that reacted in a certain way and just help Nimble to add them this way. If you're using Outlook, we have Outlook add-in as well. So as you're reading emails, the Nimble plugin will be here. You can easily close it and open it. It will show you existing records, help you create new ones. So you'll be able to mark contacts as important, schedule a stay in touch reminder, and create any notes, tasks, deals, or events straight from your Outlook. So this will really help you save time on switching between different tabs, because we try to help you do as much as you can from the place where you work the most, so like your inbox. You can also see all the history of the interactions with the person. You can make edits and so on. For our Gmail G Suite users, it also works here. So it'll be on the right side. And if you don't have the person in the database yet, Nimble will help you create the contact record. This is how easy it is. So I have this beautiful contact record for Kim. I can add her to my database, can set up the profile picture, put any tags on her, add any lead details, mark her as important, set up a stay in touch reminder, and so on. So this will also work the same in the web version of Outlook if you're using that. The only difference is that we won't have this nice, beautiful Nimble icon here. I don't know why it looks different on each Microsoft product, but you'll have to click on these three dots, scroll down, find Nimble, open it up, and it will work the same way as I just showed you that it works on the desktop version of Outlook. So if you don't have the person, Nimble will help you to quickly add it to your database. And I believe that it covers everything. Let me just go through our special offer. So we have a special offer for new users. You can sign up today and get 30 days of Nimble for free. If you haven't signed up yet, go to nimble.com/offers/webinar30. Megan will share the link with you, and we will also include it in our follow-up emails. If you're already in trial, email us at care@nimble.com and we will extend it to you so you also get the 30 days. And you can also download our onboarding checklist here. So again, we'll be sharing the link for everybody that will help you to get started with Nimble. And I know that I have a lot of questions here, so I'll go through them now. I have a question here from David. Do you do NFR for development alongside Microsoft 365, co-funding marketing as well? So David, if you can share a little more information about that, possibly emailing it at care@nimble.com, we'll be able to answer that. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, so my apologies, but if you email us, we'll do what we can to make sure that we answer you. Allison's asking, I cannot get people's photos to show up. I also want to figure out how to use POP. So we do not support POP, unfortunately. What you can do is to contact your email provider and see if they can enable IMAP. So I would do that first. If so, and if you'll need assistance with setting it up, email us at care@nimble.com and one of our representatives will help you. If they cannot enable it, unfortunately, you will not be able to integrate your email with Nimble as of now. And in regards to the images, it really depends on the platform and what the individual platforms allow us to do. If it's not displaying the picture, you can always go to the person's contact record, either on the extension or in Nimble, click change photo. We will display those that we can access, so you would be able to select. And if it's still not showing anything and you really want the picture there, you can always save it on your computer and upload it here. Dave is asking, there's a lot of blurring of the CRM category right now between CRM marketing extensions and email services like MailChimp. Wix, for example, has something called Ascent, and I can't quite figure out if it is a marketing extension or a CRM or both. It's making it hard to make a decision on what to buy. I'm not sure what Nimble is beyond a CRM. Great question, great point. Yes, the market is very crowded. So it really depends on probably the most important things that you need to do in order to do the simplest things in your business. So Nimble is a great way to organize your contacts, put them in one place, and then sync the history of interactions you've had with them and have it easily accessible in one place. So the difference between Nimble and other CRMs on the market is that we heard from our customers and analysts in the industry that we do actually make it pretty easy to set it up. So we're great for solopreneurs, small to medium-sized businesses. We make it easy to bring all your contacts from various different places into one platform. And then because we integrate with your email, you can easily see the history of interactions in here, and you can also do the next steps with them. So that's the basic CRM stuff that most CRMs will do as well. In regards to the marketing question, so MailChimp would be a great way to manage your email list. If you have any sign up boxes on your website, you'll be able to capture those easily in MailChimp. And then if you want to send them any updates, newsletters, if you're using it to manage your blog subscriber list, you can also use MailChimp to send beautiful templated newsletters. In Nimble, the marketing or the group message feature is not really meant to replace a marketing automation feature like MailChimp. As I mentioned, it's more to help you to stay in touch with your contacts. So the group messages is mostly designed to help you to save time on typing the same message to multiple people. So if you're going to a conference, probably not in person for a while, unfortunately, but if there's like a virtual conference and you want to touch the 10, 15, 20 people that you know are also going to be attending, and maybe you want to set up a conference with them, online conference with them, get them on the phone, you could draft a same message for all of them and send it using the group message feature. So they will not know they were part of a group outreach. And it will save you time on retyping the same message 20 times. So that would be the main difference between like MailChimp and the group messaging in Nimble. So we do have some marketing features, but we are not really marketing ourselves as a marketing platform in the sense of allowing you to manage your email lists, send newsletters, and so on. We do not offer the beautiful templated, customizable newsletters like you might have in MailChimp or Constant Contact. So if it didn't answer your question, please email us at care@nimble.com and we'll make sure that we cover it in more detail and really help you out. Kelly is asking, is there any integration with Bloomberg? So under contacts, when you go to data fields, no, actually, if you go to integrations, you can add web pages here and quickly preview the web page you want to see on the contact record. So you could go to web page settings and try to set it up. So that would be the only integration we would have. On top of that, I would only recommend downloading the browser plugin, which will allow you to access existing records and add any new ones when you're on any website or in any third-party application. Chris is asking, when I attempted to connect and sync with Google Contacts through PieSync, Google sent a warning that PieSync could delete my data. Is that true? Please advise. Here is the message. This will allow PieSync to see, edit, download, and permanently delete your contacts. Okay, I see what you mean. So you are basically giving the application the permission to perform the task you do in one place in the other one. Because if you tell PySync, please sync these two databases, please sync Nimble and and MailChimp, and if you set it up that you really want it to be in sync, if you delete the contact record in Nimble and the rules in PySync were set up that you also want it to be deleted in MailChimp, that's the permission they're asking you to grant them so they can delete it on your behalf. But there won't be anything in the background that's going on and delete in your contacts that you don't agree with. It will only follow the rules that you set up in PySync. So I hope that it will make sense. Again, if you need any more help, we are at care@nimble.com every day, all day. Kelly's also asking, is LinkedIn part of the social networks? It is not anymore because LinkedIn closed their APIs and they no longer allow us to directly sync anything to our platform. So the only way is to use Nimble Prospector on LinkedIn or to download a list of your LinkedIn connections and import them to Nimble. Gloria, is there any update as to when the Safari connection will be up? So I don't have an exact timeline. Unfortunately, I know that we're waiting for Safari to introduce a new type of extension. So we don't have to update it again and disable it again once that happens. So once they release the latest update, we'll be able to modify it. But unfortunately, I don't have an exact date for you as of now. David's asking, do you have any deduplication tools? Do you integrate with PSA, RMM, and IT Glue? We do not directly. The only way to dedupe your database would be one by one. When you go on a certain contact record, click on the three dots here. You can click on Find Merge Duplicates, and Nimble will help you merge any duplicates if you have them. The Nimble browser extension, Nimble Prospector, will also help you to detect them. So if you already have John in Nimble, let's look for him. Here he is. And if we create another John Ferrara, and then, well, I'm not sure if I actually created it. Maybe it's going too fast here. No, I did. So it will help you find it. So if there are duplicates detected, you can easily merge it on the extension as well. Set up the primary contact record and merge it. You can also use the segmentation in Nimble and come up with groups of people. So you could create a group of your contacts and apply other filters to them. So for instance, you could do last contacted. And if you do last contacted by team more than, let's say, 180 days ago, you could possibly come up with a list of people that you guys are not really in touch with, possibly see if you would want to get rid of them. But in terms of finding duplicates, we don't have like a mass dedupe feature as of now. Rich asking integrations with LinkedIn and Instagram. Again, Facebook owns Instagram, and both Facebook and LinkedIn, they closed their API, so they are no longer allowing us to directly integrate with them. Only the Nimble browser extension will work there, so you'll be able to hover over people and add them in manually, but we only directly integrate with Twitter as of now. David is asking, do you have 2FA, MFA? So I have to admit that I don't know what you mean by that. So if you can elaborate, I'll be more than happy to check with my colleagues and we'll get back to you. Christina, I'm sorry, how can you not include contacts without unfriending them? So you can actually add any contacts. You don't even have to be friends with them if you're referring to Facebook, or you can add people that you are even not connected to on LinkedIn. If you go on their contact record, you can easily add them to Nimble by just highlighting their name. And same on Facebook, you don't have to be friends with them. And if you delete people from Nimble database, you are just deleting it in Nimble, and they actually never knew they were there to begin with. So it won't affect any status you have with them on individual platforms. William, do you have any future presentations that are more geared towards the day-to-day functionality of the system, how it compares, contrasts to other popular ones such as Salesforce? They are no more than 30 minutes. This presentation seems to be more of onboarding presentation for people who've already signed up. So we are continuing to create shorter videos. We don't have one about how we compare to Salesforce yet, but yes, keep an eye on our website section on our webinar section on our website, because we are adding new webinars every week. And there will be a survey at the end of today's session. Please fill out specifically what videos or webinars you want us to set up, and we'll make sure that we will do so. Chris asking, does the task widget link to Outlook or Office 365 task list? The tasks are specific to Nimble. If you want to sync your tasks with Office 365, you would have to use PySync for that. Chris, can you set a stay in touch reminder for a group of contacts such as everyone with a specific tag? Not at this moment. You would have to do it. You would have to click on each of them and set it up. There's no way to do it in bulk. Chris is also asking, does the activity log display in the Outlook add-in? I wasn't able to find it. Activity log. Outlook, so if you're asking about let me see. It looks a little different on Outlook. We will be unifying it soon. We're working with Microsoft on that. So to log any interactions in Outlook, you would have to use the plus sign button here. So it looks a little different than on Nimble Prospector. Can you use the send and track feature from within Microsoft Outlook using the add-in? Not yet. Ryan, how are leads, contacts, deals related different? So currently we only have contacts in Nimble. Soon we will introduce the option to also mark them as leads. So currently we only have contact records and company records. If you go on the company record, the only way to determine if they are a lead or not would be in the lead details. So you could do it in the lead status and determine that they are a lead. Question for later, do lead sources and categories need to be set up for each user in their login, or can we create those titles in the master instance for everyone? It will be created in the master instance. So there's no such thing as the individual users customizing it for themselves. So that's the way it works. Ryan, how would you treat a customer that is an individual and not a company, meaning an individual residential landscape client instead of a commercial business landscape client? Do you have to always add a company? No, you don't have to always add a company. You can just create them as contacts, and you just simply don't fill out the company field. So that shouldn't be a problem. Can you, Chris, can you create sub-segments of a segment which stays actively linked to the top level segment? Not yet. Ryan, for a deal, can you show an estimated payment schedule so you can properly forecast new sales collections? So currently the only way in the deal, you can set up the amount for the specific deals. For the individual ones, we don't offer a way to manage like recurring payments, if that's what you're asking about. So deals would have to be set up again after they close, or they would never be closed, but then you can really calculate what you're trying to calculate, unfortunately. Chris is asking, if you have already imported a CSV of contacts and then you choose to connect and sync via PySync, will this create duplicates? Should I remove the imports first and then set up the sync? Please advise. No. If the contacts have, so the differentiator we use to figure out which contacts are unique and which are duplicates is the email on there. If you know that the CSV was pretty clean, that all of them have email accounts on there, you don't have to worry about it because we will always automatically match the duplicates. If you have a feeling that most of them don't have them and it could become messy, then I would suggest you delete it first and then run PySync. But if they already have emails, if companies have domains on their contact records, then we'll automatically merge them and take care of it. Louis, is it possible to pre-populate a document, letter, or form from data stored in Nimble for a client? For example, pre-populate a standard templated form. Louis, if you don't mind, please email us at care@nimble.com because I'm not 100% sure about these specific integrations we have. So the team, our customer success team, will definitely know more. So apologies, I wasn't able to answer you here. Rich, is there a link to Google Maps? If I click on their address, will it bring up Google Maps? So, great question. So, yes. Yes, it will work that way. Yes, it's connected to Google Maps actually automatically, it looks like. Um, Ken, what is the best way to update contact as they move to new companies? Great question. As you find out the information, you would have to unfortunately do it manually. There is no easy way as of now, since most of the social networks close their APIs, it no longer notifies you and doesn't update automatically. So that would have to be unfortunately done manually. Beverly, share email templates with other users. Yes, we are making it available soon. So it will be available. I don't have an exact ETA, but it should be soon. So you will be able to share the templates with other users. Christina, can Nimble be applied such as social campaigns on multiple channels? Is the Nimble installed on your local PC or can it be also installed on a private cloud? So it is not on your local computer. It's a web-based application, so you can, we don't have like a desktop app, so you would always be accessing it through your browser. And in terms of social campaigns, we don't really have like a campaign manager built in, but what you could do is to create any data field. So if you do a lot of social campaigns, you could possibly create a custom data tab here. And under each of them, you could create individual custom fields and then insert the information about the social campaign. So anybody on your team can see what the collaboration with the person was and what the results of the campaigns were, what the actions these people took were, and so on. Samra, can we create lists in our specific industry with contact numbers, etc.? Yes, you can create as many lists inside of Nimble as you want. You can either use the safe segments or you can use tags to separate contacts, and each contact you'll be able to input their unique phone number on. So this is actually one of like the basic features. So unless I'm not understanding what you're asking about, this should be very easy to do in Nimble. Rich, if I'm creating a new company and type in their URL, will Nimble automatically populate address, phone, etc.? Not automatically, Rich, but great question. We do have a contact discovery feature. So all these green buttons you'll see in Nimble or on the extensions, you'll be able to use it to find their contact information. This is an add-on feature though. So every person on the trial will get 10 credits to try the integration or the feature. Everybody that already becomes a paid customer will have 25 enrichment credits to try. If you like the feature, we'll be able to find people's addresses, phone numbers, their email addresses. You can upgrade and you can buy packages of you can buy them in, you can buy the credits in increments of hundreds, and it's $10 per month per each package of 100 credits. Chris, would synced contacts between G Suite and Nimble also show up as the contact records in Office 365? So I'm pretty sure you can set this up using PySync. So you could sync your Google contacts with Nimble and also with 365. So you would just probably sync Google to Nimble and then Nimble to Office 365, or the other way around. But that would be possible with PySync. So I don't see any other questions. Please let us know at care@nimble.com if you have any other questions. Thank you everybody for staying 18 minutes past. Today we had a lot of people and a lot of questions, which makes me very happy. So there will be a survey after I finish the session. So let us know your feedback, any requested topics, because we look at it every week and we use it to set up new webinars. So if you want us to focus on specific features, create webinars about specific topics, please let us know and we will schedule them. So again, thank you so much, and I hope you will have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.